Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like the On Course Podcast, a show where they help you to tackle various questions related to abroad studies, like which university to choose or how to navigate the application process.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Good day, everyone. There's a lot of action today, and I don't think we'll have enough time to talk about everything. So we'll have to just talk brief about some things. And there is a shocker for everyone as well. There's a big shocker that's coming in for Chiranjit. We'll talk about it later on. So the first news that's coming in, about the Tri-Series, there was the game between St. Kitts and Nevis and Mauritius that happened yesterday. It finished in a 1-1 draw. So that leaves Mauritius with just a point in their hands, and they will have to wait and watch of the game between India and St. Kitts and Nevis that will be happening tomorrow. So moving on from that, we have another news that's coming from the domestic circuits is that Pylon Arrows is being revived. Chiranjit, what's happening over here? We talked about the under-17 team not being getting a future after the under-17 World Cup ends in October. So is this something that's in a way good for that the under-17 and under-19 team?
Obviously. I mean, we've been talking about this entire mammoth, commencement of this development program that has happened around the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. And it's not just the Under-17 team. Some of the resources have gone to the Under-19 team as well. Because remember, AIFF want to do like an Under-20 or Under-21 championship in India next. So what is happening is that they have realized that just if you abandon everything that's been done after the Under-17 World Cup, it's all going to go to waste. These players will go to different clubs, and we may actually lose many of them. It happens. Between age 17 and 21, many fall off the wagon. Yeah. So they want to carry on with that, and we've been hearing a discussion of the Chinese model, the China Football Federation just did a contract with German Football Association that their under-19 or a junior team will play in a lower league, the fourth tier of German football. They will be playing. So hence they will be staying together for a few years, the entire season, and get regular practice and regular games. So what they have done is that obviously we're not going to send the team to play in Germany. So it's a good step to revive the Arrows. Under-19 and under-17 national team players will play for Arrows. They're going to be moved to Delhi, probably the Ambedkar Stadium, and they will get regular games and they will stay together. So the regimen that has been put in place will not just evaporate after the Under-17 World Cup takes place. Yes. So this is just AIFF's way of ensuring we do get results from all the effort that we have put in, because none of it makes sense until and unless these players deliver for us in the senior level. Under-17, no matter what you do, if you're not successful at senior level, doesn't make sense. So they're just trying to do it, and it's great. Yeah, it's unequivocally a good, thoughtful step taken by AIFF. It's another thing that it's coming at a time when I-League is short of teams and they desperately need more clubs to come in. It's still a good step. And I mean, even if I-League had 20 clubs or 19 clubs and this was the 20th team in the league, it would still be a good step. Yeah.
Excellent choice to have them play in the I-League, and we've seen a lot of players coming out from that Arrows team. For example, JJ is another product that's come up from that team.
Devjit.
Yeah, Devjit is there. Pritam Kotal is there.
JJ, I give a lot of credit for JJ to Pune FC as well, because they overtook his development in the later years. But later on, we have seen Pritam Kotal come out of this, Prabir Das this. Majumdar come out of this. So a lot of Mohan Bagan players, came out of Paisan Arrows.
Now, what's interesting is just last week we had the press conference where Stephen Constantine was put up this question about the under-17 team, and that's where he made that statement saying, I'm really concerned about these players after the World Cup is over. And right here, we have great news. I think it'll be great to put this back on Constantine again when we have the press conference today. That's ahead of the game. That was about the Arrows being revived, and that seems to be a great step and a great future, at least down the line. They don't have to be, wondering what do they do next after the World Cup. Moving on, we have another signing that's coming from the ISL side. This time it's Chennai FC who've signed up Jamie Martinez, who is a Spaniard who comes in a free transfer from the South Korean club called Suwon FC. He's a product of the Valencia Youth Academy, and he brings in great experience playing in the Spanish, various Spanish clubs. Chiranjit, good addition to the side.
Yeah, well, he was in ATK in 2015. It's nothing to lose your mind over. It's a regular ISL style signing that you get in a Spanish and another Spaniard in ISL. Big deal. So it's gonna help them out.
Yeah. All right. So now coming to the shocker that we talked about in the earlier of the show, here it is. Katsumi Yusa has moved from Mohun Bagan to East Bengal. Spotlight on Chiranjit Oja. Please speak your heart out.
You know what? We have talked about this before. There are elections coming up in both clubs, okay?
No. Before we get into the story, give the initial reaction that what you thought when you got this news. Don't tell me this was not a shocker.
If I say those words aloud, it will be just a series of beeps. So I will spare Shravan the trouble of censoring me. The thing is that, look, both clubs have elections coming up, and the officials need a win. All right. Mohun Bagan already got a couple of wins. They got a couple of new sponsors to get on board with them, and they retained Sony Nordic. Okay, and I'm talking about at a time when lots of fans and supporters are super pissed about the way they handled the negotiations with MG Reliance and ISL. Because most of them wanted Mohun Bagan and East Bengal to get into ISL. That did not happen. So, that happened. Mohun Bagan got those wins, and then East Bengal were having trouble with their, with their sponsor negotiations. Hopefully, that is turning out good for them. I hope they, extend with Kingfisher, and then they needed a win in the transfer market to sort of round it up. So they got a few good signings out of Aizawl FC. They got Garcia out of Mohun Bagan. And now this happens, right? Yeah. This is happening. It's not just that Katsumi Yusa, Mohun Bagan captain, the spiritual leader of the team for the last 3-4 years, he's gone directly to the rivals East Bengal. It's the way he went. He talked to Ajkal, a Bengali newspaper today, and said, I didn't get any offer to extend my contract.
Oh,
I mean, okay, you got Mohun Bagan, and just look at the signings they made. They got an attacking midfielder in Yuta Kinowaki, which is a potential replacement.
Which is a like-for-like replacement for him.
Not like-for-like, because Katsumi Yusa often played in right wing. And they got Chestapol Lindo in the right wing. Right, so the floating, the shifty role, just whenever you need Katsumi in the attacking midfield, he played there. Whenever you needed him on the right, he played there. Prabir Das was there. They lost Prabir Das as well. So it's like both of them were replaced pretty early on. So it's a well thought out thing from Mohun Bagan officials that we're not going to get those players. We're not even going to go for Katsumi Yusa.
Yeah.
And go for Yuta Kinowaki, who is much cheaper. And I would disagree if it's a like for like transfer. Yuta Kinowaki, he's good. He's got the ability to deliver. And Chestapol Lindo is a great right winger. I'm already in awe of him. But none of them are Katsumi Yusa. Like, at least you try. You try to keep your captain.
East Bengal they've just taken the spine out of the midfield.
They got lucky. Why wouldn't Mohan Bagan want Katsumi Yusa to stay? Obviously, he would have asked for more money. And obviously, they blew a lot of their budget on Sony Node. But doesn't mean you just completely ignore him. What kind of respect is this to the guy who was at the forefront? I mean, I remember everything. Like, Mohan Bagan got rejuvenated by winning the I-League. And at halftime, we've talked about this on the show, at halftime in Kantirawa, they were trailing 1-0, and everybody was looking down. It was like a repeat of what happened a few seasons ago. And the last day, you blow it. And it was Katsumi Yusa who got the team together and pumped everybody up, including the fans. He was thumping his chest like a gorilla, just urging everybody to just, come back alive and keep fighting. That's the guy. That's the guy we're talking about. 90 minutes he plays in all games. Like, everybody gets injured. Everybody complains about injuries or fatigue. I didn't see him do that once. Like, at one AFC Cup game where Sanjay Sen wanted to bench him, he just kept literally, begging Sanjay Sen to bring him on, and he had to bring him on as a substitute in that game.
Yeah.
Right? So, he's eager to play. He's a proper team man. He keeps the team together. He's great. He's a great person, and he can be. You can actually build a team around him if you want to. Not because he's the best player in the team. It's just because he can be the leader, and he can hold a squad together. That's the contribution that Katsumi Yusa has made, and you don't even ask him to extend the contract.
That's very strange. So you're about those are the emotions of a Mohan Bagan fan who's just lost one of the biggest game makers.
Look at this. Going back to the point I was going to make. What is this? Are they talking to each other, the East Bengal and Mohan Bagan officials? Like, okay, we're not going to go for Katsumi Yusa, so that you can take it. I don't get it. This is like a far-sighted idea, obviously. But why would otherwise, when you know that East Bengal for your best players, they've tried their hand on Sony Node and it did not work. Now they went for Katsumi Yusa. They took your physio like the Garcia. Garcia has done so much work with Mohan Bagan in the past few months. He's the one guy who worked with Balwant Singh to get him to recover from his injury, and now he's coaching for the national team, Balwant Singh. That's the kind of contribution he can make to the team. You let him go to East Bengal as well, and now Katsumi Yusa goes and says, "I never got an offer from Mohan Bagan." What is the fan to think that it's like both the people who are in power at the want each other to score a win so that they can be in power and nobody can challenge them, and all the fans stay happy, and you just never get any real change at any of the clubs.
Yeah. So we'll keep it to that, Chiranjit.
I don't know. I may be wrong. I may be wrong about this hypothesis, but just how else do you explain not even making an offer? Assuming Katsumi spoke the truth, and I'm pretty sure he did, because he's not a guy who just goes around lying to the media. It must have hurt him. Katsumi Yusa is not somebody who wants publicity or talk to the media.
I think it is also hurt a lot of Mohan Bagan fans, just like Chiranjit. So that's a very sad way to leave the club. Whom both ways, club has done a lot for him, and his contribution to the club cannot be ignored. It does come as a shock, and it's a great.
Remember when he came? When Mohan Bagan went to that 2012-13 season when they got suspended for the Black Derby, and then the suspension got lifted, and they all their points got taken away. So they were fighting to save relegation. And next season the squad was totally broken. Odafa was playing with an injury. He was hiding the injury, and nothing was working. That's when Katsumi Yusa came to the team and saw through that season. That was probably the worst season in Mohan Bagan's history. So, you're giving away the architect, one of the architects of the new Mohan Bagan. So, yeah.
Yeah, you heard him. Those were the emotions pouring out from a fan and a long-time believer that Katsumi Yusa was one of the greats that played for Mohan Bagan. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll move our attention to the big game that's coming up tonight. The AFC Interzonal semi-finals between Bengaluru FC and April 25th to be played on August 23rd. That sounds very very strange to hear, but that's the name of the club, the North Korean club. And what can we expect from here, Chiranjit? A total revamped side of Bengaluru FC. They took the step to enter the ISL, and what did they have to do? They had to lose most of the squad and then rebuild it just for the semi-finals. What is going through through this camp?
We will go into that. I spoke to FNI where we discussed all these issues plus some of the things that are happening in I-League. But actually, first I want to get in some input from two of the people who are going to live through tonight, which is going to be easily the toughest challenge Bengaluru FC have ever faced. Yeah. Let's listen in on what Albert Roca and Captain Sunil Chetri have to say.
Coach, with such a mixed team together and having not had much of a chance to see the opposition, how difficult is it to prepare for a match like this?
Okay, to be honest, I would like just to have more time to prepare that game. It's a so important game for the club, and when you see the circumstances behind, you see that you cannot do nothing because as you know, the draft has been made on the 23rd, and we have started on the 26th, and there is no more than 1 month. Training with a new team and with a new squad, or new, not but half of the team is new, so you have to create, again, like the same feeling that we had, at the last part of the season, and it's not easy. But I count with the attitude of the players. That is the most important thing right now. Their motivation and. The hungry, to be again, in the semi-final was so important. And run, which is for others can be perhaps a style. But I come from where I come, Spain, and I don't understand, football without trying, to play on the floor. And for those that they have come, for other teams, it's always a change. I think they can afford. They can really, achieve that level. But it takes time, and I have always to choose those that they understand even more, better, the style. But it's a question of just to have more training sessions, and for sure the quality of the foreigners, they can help because they have more experience on that. But I'm sure that they also Indian football players, they have achieved a good level. For sure, have seen some videos of the other team. We saw that they are quite powerful to put us in trouble. Korean, they are fit, really fit, because there are not cinema there, so they can train 3 times a day. So it's and then they will just run all the time. They will just they are a good organization. They know what they want. You can see that the team is really united. I suppose that they have worked in that system and in that team for a long time, so they have more, in that terms that they are in advance, but it's football, and you have just to play. And what I want, it's what I said to you, it's the motivation. The players do everything. I know that they have not even played one 90 minutes game yet. None of our players, but it's just a question of mentally, and it's what my players, they have to show tomorrow, and it's my first, goal. It's them to be, at the mentally, strong. So it's not going to be easy.
We don't know much about them, but we did see a few videos, and also the fact that they have 6 or 7 national team players. So you can have an idea because we are playing North Korea and they're a very difficult team to play against, very difficult team to play against. So if the 6th, 7th players are there from national team, you can dodge, you can see kind of team they are. So they're going to be easy opponent. Yeah, of course it doesn't help when you don't know much about them and you don't have videos, the recent ones. But whatever we have seen, they are a very strong team. So it's going to be a war. It's going to be a war tomorrow. It's going to be difficult for us. So guys, starting to think more about ourselves. We have to give a good account of ourselves. It's our home. We always start with a favorite no matter who is playing. So we will go there and do our best.
Obviously, John was missing from AFC Cup this season. So how much of a miss is he going to be? And at the same time, we have a players like Rahul Kriket, Norman, who's very versatile. How much of that has added to from the attack?
Well, what we have the circumstances and we have to accept it. And we were really, happy with Jono, but we have to be also happy with the players that are competing, in that team tomorrow. So everybody's really focused on that. I'm hoping that I'm really sure that tomorrow we will not miss him, too much. He's a great player. He will be with us, for the Super League. But tomorrow it is a match that we cannot count on him and we cannot try. The man is substitute him, he will do his job, I'm sure.
Question for you, Sri. You played a part in the preseason as well, right? And you lost a lot of players. Like you had a good breakup with TFG. And so how does it feel for a footballer? I mean, you lose all your good breakups, the good competitions that you had last season. And suddenly all of a sudden the ice of Kerala comes in and you lose those players. So how difficult is it to acclimatize in those situations?
It was difficult the first 1 week. We all cried. And then we got back to the ground. I miss them, they miss us, I know it. Personally also I'm very attached to him. He's been one of the most important players for our club. But it's gone. The 3-4 days after the draft, everybody have said whatever they wanted to say in the postal chat. Me, Reno, Sandesh, Yuji, Amrinder, I don't know, keep going 17 or 16 players. But that's done. And this is BFC. No matter who plays. Eugene, before coming to BFC, you still won the league. Sandesh, before coming to BFC, you still won the league. At the end of the day, the club is bigger than any player. So that is what I told myself. The players understand this. So they were here, they did brilliant. I hope we can get them again. But this year, whatever we have, players who are coming are really good and trying really their best. And just going to go there and fight.
The result. Sure. The result is to win. And it is possible 1-0, then 2-1. And I would like just my team, or just to have my goal, without not a lot of occasion and for them to score. Yes, to win is always important because it makes that sensation that we can do that or a good result there. But we don't know. What I want them is to have a good performance because with that I am sure that the result, we have more options, to have a good result. So yeah, this is what they have to say about the game, and it's obviously going to be super challenging. What do you see happening here, Kevin?
For me, this is a big change in the BFC camp because it's a real test for them in a lot of ways. Now we heard both the coach and Chetri talk about it's a whole new challenge, something that they've not seen because what progress they've made so far was with a different squad, and this is a whole together different level now. For me, I'm feeling a bit, feeling a bit bad for Bengaluru FC that they had to go through this, and but again, that was the plan. And for the AFC Cup runner-ups who will be playing this North Korean side, it's playing at home obviously it gives them a lot of confidence playing in front of the home fans who never stop chanting and supporting them right through the 90 minutes. And this is something to be seen how Roka approaches. For me it's more like how this squad can gel together. Yes, they've had a good season, a pre-season training in Spain, but a competitive match is again is what tells you how deep waters are you. Overall, it looks like a game that Roca would want to play more defensive. They've lost John Johnson, so that's a big blow because he's the man who would got in the defense together. So there's a likelihood of change of formation from that's what I feel. They might just stick to something that they've not done not done for a very long time. That's play more of the 4 of backline rather than the 3 that they are used to, and they've been portraying as more of trying to hold the ball and play those long diagonal balls from the backline. So this is going to be a shift in that formation as well. So this is the first game that we'll see. Not expecting too many attacking moves because the team that they're up against, these guys know to score. They are no less an opponent that they faced before, like JDT or Tampa and Rovers, who can strategy wise you can just get through. But this is a real test for them, and I'm looking forward to how the defense works. That's the main priority, because that is something that is shaken a bit. Mostly in the midfield, we'll see Chetri. Chetri might just take the role of somebody who's playing on the wing rather than as striker. Udanta will be there. So for me, the main battle is in the defense, because they are up against a side who can score anytime they want.
Yeah, so let's just get a opinion from one of the most outspoken Bengaluru FC fans over there, and he's Unni. He's been on our show intermittently, and obviously he's he's the one who controls and operates the sort of club neutral Twitter handle called @FNI Football News India on Twitter. So let's just get into my conversation with him. We talk about this match obviously, and the I-League bids that are going to come out. By the way, AIF just announced last night that we're going to have a second round of bidding. So we discussed that, the situation with Gokulam FC, and of course, full details about this match tonight, Bengaluru FC versus April 25th.
Right, let's listen in.
So Unni is back with us, and last time he was here, we were talking about the arrival of Gokulam FC in the national scene, which was going to be a big next step for Kerala football and the club itself. And we were looking forward to getting a first top division club out of Malappuram. And a lot of things happened since then. Of course, we're going to talk about Bengaluru FC facing April 25th Sports Club tomorrow, later tonight. And that's going to be our main topic of discussion. But let's take a quick update from that. So, Unni, we heard that, the district council and Gokulam FC sort of arrived at a truce, right? So, yes. What was that like?
So I think generally, because as we discussed last time, since a lot of fans are involved and things like that, and it's because it is Malappuram, and since Gokulam has kind of a political clout and things like that, I think there was some pressure from all sides, from the fans, because there were a couple of very negative reports about why the sports council is doing this in the local media, in the Malayalam media. Then I think Gokulam might have pulled some strings politically as well. So everything is sorted out, and they were given the stadium, that was the Manjari Stadium, for practice. And Gokulam, in fact, started their practice. They have drafted in some new players, local players. We haven't heard about anything about the foreigners, but they have drafted in some other Malayali players who've been playing for ONGC and then later Navy and stuff like that. So some new players have come in and they have started practicing as well. So things look pretty fine on that front as of now.
So, but what happened was that later on the I-League bids were opened and all of the bids were rejected in the first round. So sort of an anticlimax, all the kind of negotiations and all the preparation was for nothing.
No. But I think even last time this happened, right? And they kind of relaxed the criteria and allowed the teams in and stuff like that. So I think pretty much such a thing will happen this time as well, or rather I'm expecting that to happen. First of all, because I guess with BSK pulling out, I-League will be short of teams. One.
Yeah.
And we are also hearing about rumors about so fielding the under-17 team, like the Thailand
the Arrows,
Yeah, so that I mean, more than, I guess, the team, or rather the under-17 team getting experience, I have a feeling that probably it is because of the lack of any credible, interest from corporate groups, even though every other time we have heard, Praful Patel and Kushal Das saying that there are so many teams willing to come in, but we just had like some 3 bids coming in, one from Rajasthan or Gujarat, I forgot about that.
Jodhpur,
Yeah, so Rajasthan, then Gokulam, and I think Ozone was the other one.
Yeah.
So I think pretty much because all these clubs would have seen what happened last year, so probably they are also playing it safe that, okay, they can probably get away with not fulfilling all the criteria that they're expecting AIFF to back down on the stringent criteria. And right now I feel like probably AIFF's position is a bit, the clubs have more negotiating power because, teams are pulling out, like BSK pulling out. So it's like the AIFF has to get in some new teams. So probably the clubs are also thinking in such a way, maybe.
But it just seems like, that I-League is like a scooter, the I-League bidding process. Like you pehli baar start mara nahi hua, then you have to do it like 2-3 times and then it starts. It just seems like, AIFF don't have any idea on what the kind of resources these new clubs have and what kind of commitment they can make. And you can't really put stringent criteria on an I-League corporate club because you don't know when the next I-League will happen. There is no guarantee there will be an I-League in 2018-19 season. Right.
True, that's true. I mean, they seem to have KPMG evaluating the bids and all, but the future of I-League in itself is, very unsure. So you can't really have clubs, guaranteeing 100 crore and all those kind of things. I think it's just pointless to have that kind of stringent criteria. They should. If people are willing to field the team, I think by assuring some certain criteria, I think they should allow in these teams. And especially if the bids are coming in from places where traditionally football is a stronghold, like some team is coming from Malappuram. So that is obviously a good sign because you are going to get good crowd support and things like that. And probably they can build on it as well. I mean, initially setting very stringent criteria would be, even so many clubs have come in, so many big corporates, like we have Bharat FC in front of us who were backed by big corporates.
That was a complete mistake.
And they just went. So I think it's kind of pointless. If somebody is showing the willingness, I think the AIFF should take into consideration that and evaluate some. I'm not saying that you should give a free run without any set things and stuff like that. But if there are some, if they are ticking some boxes, obviously I think they should consider these teams.
Yeah, and just to give context. if ISL had the same criteria, the kind of requirement of immediately investing in youth and the infrastructure and whatever it is, then none of the ISL teams would have cleared that criteria. Even ISL was like they knew, just first give us the money, we'll do everything for you. Then you have 5 years to slowly set up your own shit. So it's like just AIFF don't have any idea what's happening and what is the evaluation of I-League, without a future, and they don't even remember what happened last year. We came to know which clubs were playing in the league 2 weeks before the league started.
Yeah.
So this
it's going to happen again, I guess. With this kind of dilly-dallying that they are.
No, hopefully they finish this before the World Cup starts, Under-17 World Cup, because once that starts, you can't have this process carrying on, because everybody will be busy with that. So hopefully they get it done by next month in the second round of bids. But, let's get away from that depressing subject. Let's go into what is, the most exciting thing happening in Indian football right now. Bengaluru FC facing North Korean club April 25th Sports Club. Yeah, 425.
Yes. Yeah, 425.
Yeah, so it's happening.
I'm happy that it's got 420.
Yeah, +5. But I have not seen Bengaluru FC go up against a team this tough. Even Alcoa, Al Jawiya, that was tough enough. But this just seems to me, on paper, that probably a better team than that Iraqi club. What do you think?
Yes, because one thing, what I can see is or rather, I've been trying to read up and stuff like that. So North Korea obviously has represented in World Cup.
Yeah.
They seem to, and obviously they have a different system altogether. So, it's an army club, so they'll be playing quite frequently, and so they have a set system. And we all know how Southeast Asian teams play. They're quite hardworking, and all these things. So I think this is going to be one of the toughest challenges that Bangalore FC is going to face. And on top of that, I think the 425 club has an advantage that they're bringing the same players who played, or rather most of their same players who played in the earlier phase.
Group stage.
Yeah, and they're coming, and they had, even though, they had a very good run, even though I think the Mongolian club is not very strong.
Oh my God.
So, and these guys seem to have some really good talent also in their ranks. So, this is going to be a tough challenge. And it's considering that Bangalore had to rebuild their whole squad after the ISL draft and things like that. So, it's going to be a tough challenge. But I think, again, the home advantage and even Johor in that sense was a tougher opponent to be when you look at it, and BSC managed to get that win here. So I think they'll be trying to replicate that kind of an atmosphere, and AFC Cup matches happening on weekdays really doesn't help in terms of attendance. But I think the slot blues will be geared up to back their team to the hill tomorrow and be very vocal and things like that. So on that front, I think things are sorted for BSC. Even though it was going to be a tough challenge, I guess BSC will give a good account of themselves.
Okay, so that's happening at 7 p.m. tonight. Obviously, Star Sports once again is not showing any the AFC Cup encounter. It's going to be on the YouTube and Facebook channel of AFC, and we're going to carry the stream on the fangarage.com as well. So here's the thing. You mentioned the Johor Darul Tazim game. I don't think that team compares with this team, and they had that advantage of playing away first, get a draw and then go for the kill at home. It's the opposite here, and it's quite intimidating. I was checking out YouTube videos of that Pyongyang Wala Stadium. It's super intimidating to play in front of that full house. So, do you think that way the fixture is sort of set up against Bengaluru FC?
So I was just going through all the group stages matches. So the average attendance for all their 425 clubs was around 8,000. So that part is, I don't think you will find a huge crowd. That's what I feel. But then again, the team, if you look at it, the 425 team, most of the players are very young, and if you see, like, almost all the players are there in their early 20s or late 20s. I think there is, from the group stages, when I checked, there is only one player, I think probably the goalkeeper, who is more than 30. So that means, again, you're going to find a very agile, mobile, fast Southeast Asian team who's like pressing hard and things like that. And obviously, as we discussed earlier, they have this experience of playing together before, competitive matches, unlike BFC squad. So these are things, I guess, will work in favor for them in this time.
So going by the matches that Bengaluru FC have played with this new team in Spain, do you think, going by those results, we didn't really get to watch those matches. So what do you think? How does this team look to you?
So the team looks good. I think we shouldn't read much into that the Spanish preseason tour. That was obviously, for getting the team to gel well and things like that. So if you look at it, we have Juanan, who was part of the squad last season. He'll be anchoring that defense line. Then they have brought in Gurpreet now, which is actually, I think, a very good moral booster for the whole team, because he's he's currently the number one goalkeeper in India for the national team, and he's also had a stint in Europe, and I'm sure that he's coming with a lot of confidence. So that's going to add a lot of stability to the defensive line. And then I'm expecting Zotia to partner Juanan and have probably Subhashis Bose and Cabra in the defensive line. And we'll have Eric Patralu, I guess, he's sitting in front of the defense, along with probably Lenny. And then in front, we'll either see Tony Dovale or Udanta, and also Sunil Chetri slotting in there. So the team and these foreigners whom they have actually brought will, and some of them are Spanish. They will obviously suit kind of style of play that Roca wants to show. So so they'll be pretty much a right fit over there. And Eric is another player who has vast experience. So and he's like pretty good technically adept player. So I think they have a good roster, and they'll have a good. They can all put forth a good 11 tomorrow, which will be a right mix of experience and young players. And this will be like one of the aspects that will work in favor for the team here, along with the home support is what I feel. Yeah.
So I think so. You think Bengaluru FC will have to go for a win, in the first round, and that pressure will be there. So who do you think gets the goal for Bengaluru FC?
So what I feel is I expect. So if you look, there is a pattern. If you look back to the last season, there is a pattern again. So what we see is like Roca prefers having foreigners in the defense and midfield, and he relies on the Indian talent to get those goals, and that is how it worked for them last season. I suspect that that will be the kind of approach he will be taking this time itself. All these experienced players like Johanan and Eric will be, marshalling the defense in the midfield, and he will be expecting Sunil Chetri and Udanta to chip in with that those goals. And the obvious contender here is Sunil Chetri for getting the goals, because he's a big match player. We have seen what he has done against Roar, and I think it doesn't really matter for him what the opposition is and things like that. He doesn't get. I mean, he has had enough experience of meeting different kind of teams in his whole career, so I don't think he's going to get intimidated by the occasion. And he will be the person to get those goals, and the team will be looking forward to see the performance from the captain.
Yeah, so obviously this is going to be a very tense night for you, tonight. What's the plan after the game? Are you going to go out drink?
Unfortunately, I think I'll be stuck at work tomorrow, and I'll be watching the match on the stream, and then probably after that, I don't know what is going to happen. Let's see.
So, I mean, it might not be that bad for you as well, because in my guesswork, Bengaluru FC are losing this match 2-1. So, what's your pick? What's your prediction for this game?
I'm thinking it's going to be a draw tomorrow. It'll be like a 1-1 draw is what I feel it will be. Because what I feel looking at this North Korean team is like, obviously they have that forward Kim Yu-song who
scored against Qatar in an international friendly in June.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty tall, and very unlikely that he's pretty good in the air as well. When I was looking at those videos, I mean, he scored like some 3 header goals in one of those ties.
Yeah.
So the opposition looks like really strong. They seem to be also, a team which plays with a lot of possession football. Plays a lot of possession football. Like they average around like 70% of possession in all the group matches they play. Even against the other DPR Korea team, Tiga Wancha, which they drew 2 matches. They make a lot of passes, like around, I think, average around 400 in those 3 group stages matches that they played. So on the whole, I think BFC's challenge will be like how this new team is going to perform, how they're going to gel well, and so that's going to be the challenge for the BFC team. I think a bit of that is sorted out in the pre-season times. And there seems to be a good vibe going on in the squad as well, when you're seeing like all the videos and things like that, and the tweets from the players and stuff like that. So I think that also is going to play a crucial role here. And on the whole, I hope that the team pulls together and fight for it. Is what I feel. So my prediction, as I told, is going to be a draw, or maybe a narrow defeat. So because the only thing that is stopping me from going for a win for BSC is that they had to go through this stupid ordeal of draft and break down their whole squad. And in each way, they had managed to retain their whole squad last year, I think they would have had a good chance of going through, because the team was doing pretty well as we spoke in the last podcast that I was in. They ended the season with on a high by winning the Federation Cup. The team was like falling in place and things like that. And then from there, they had to tear it apart. And that was like That almost killed, I guess, their chances. But again, they have made some good signings. There's the players that have come in, like Eric and all these people look like, they have had good experience. So those things are going to factor in tomorrow and come into play. I guess, as we are talking, hoping that the team pulls together, stay together, and fight for it.
Yeah, and this is the first time I have heard FNI not predict a BFC win, and that just tells you how unfortunate the draft. Yeah, but any other time I have, we have talked before a Bengaluru AFC Cup game. You have always been upbeat and you have always predicted wins, and it's not happening this time, and just shows how unfortunately timed that ISL draft was, and what kind of effect it has had already even before the season gets underway. But hopefully, let's hope for the best. I don't really have a dog in this race. I want Bengaluru FC to do well because it's an Indian club, and if I'm proven wrong and Bengaluru FC get a draw or a win, I would be pretty pleased. So let's see what happens. Keep an eye on your web browser around 7 p.m. where you'll get to catch the live stream of the match. And FNI, obviously, I think congratulations are in order. You just passed 60,000 Facebook likes. Is that it? 60,000 Facebook likes. I didn't expect it to be like a huge occasion or something. I just thought, then it just snowballed into a lot of congratulatory messages and things like that. It was not at all planned or anything. I just, on Facebook, it was intentional that I put a note over there. And I wanted people to share it. And obviously, I'm happy. Obviously, this is a pretty welcome, good news for you after the website went down and everything happened. So all good on that front now? Oh yeah, the website is back up. I'm not very regular updating it, but it's back up. Thankfully, it was a minor glitch, and the hosting guys helped me to get it sorted. So all good. Hopefully, the kind of glitch that Bengaluru FC faced with the ISL draft proves to be a minor one, and they get it back and up and working again in time for the AFC Cup knockouts and upcoming ISL. So thank you once again. I want them to do well because they should make a statement against the stupid ISL draft that happened where they had to tear down the whole squad. So for that. Seriously. So thanks once again for speaking to us, and hopefully we catch up with you again when Bengaluru FC are going into playing in the second leg of this encounter, and hopefully with a positive result in their back. So thanks so much. Fingers crossed. Thanks, man. Thanks again.
All right. Lots of action-packed news and things to talk about. Lots of discussions between various topics between Chiranjit and Unni. And Unni, as we talked about, he's been a regular on our show. He does come on at interesting milestones in Indian football. This is just another one where Bengaluru again on the verge of making history, trying to get there to the finals one more time. And that's it. That's a wrap from the TFG Football edition for today. Catch you guys tomorrow. Till then, do like, subscribe, and share. And do let us know via comments about anything that you want to talk about, what I want us to talk about. You can also listen to us on various podcasting apps like SoundCloud, iTunes, etc. You can download the IVM podcast app that's available on Android and iOS. Do not forget to follow @TFG Football for more such stories and breaking news coming your way. And also do log on to thefangarage.com for many such stories. Till then, till tomorrow, take care and bye.
That was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India, but unfortunately most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started atkt.in. Hi, I'm Ankur, I'm a musician and a rapper, and I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through atkt.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. atkt.in.
एक्सक्यूज मी भैया, एक्सक्यूज मी.
बोलिए मैडम.
मेन्यू में क्या है?
मेन्यू में सीन अनसीन है, पॉडकास्ट है, ऑन कोर्स है, साइरस है, मेड इन इंडिया, रीडिस्कवरी प्रोजेक्ट, एम्पावरिंग सीरीज, सेक्स वैक्स है, IVM लाइक्स है, सिंप्लीफाइड है, कीपिंग इट क्वियर है, थिंग्स एंड डेस्टिनेशंस है, माय नेबर सकरबर्ग है और द फैन गराज है. आपको क्या चाहिए?
एक बार रिपीट कर देंगे क्या?
रिपीट नहीं करता हम. आप जाओ IVMpodcast.com पे और सुनो ये सब, या फिर डाउनलोड करो उनका ऐप. सब आपकी उंगलियों पे.